Welcome, restaurant managers, private club managers, food and beverage directors, and golf course owners. Welcome to the Food and Beverage Purchasing Doc. My name is Dennis. I am the Food and Beverage Purchasing Doc. Today we're going to talk about bone barrel. Bone barrel, if you happen to be in a seafood processor, where they take whole fish and process them down to fillets, either skin on or skin off. Their trash cans are considered and called and nicknamed bone barrel. So today, I'm going to share a little food and beverage food cost tricks or food cost techniques that I used to employ when I was a food and beverage director at a large country club. You know, in our tuna video a couple of weeks back, we talked about the need, of course, when it comes to looking at your food costs, to verify that you're getting the right product and the right price at the back door. That in itself takes many hours to consider and talk about because there's so many. I mean, any one broadline distributor typically has 10,000 line items in stock. And that's not counting some that they ask for a 24-hour lead time, or in some cases a 2-day lead time, and ship it from a further processor. So the thousands and thousands of choices that are out there. Matter of fact, Cisco has a department that does nothing more than to keep reviewing why they have 50, 60 different French fries and trying to decide what is the best approach for all the markets around the country. Warehouse space, what they call slotting. A slot holds a product. Now there's different size slots, etc., but a slot holds a product. So for me, food cost wasn't just all the mechanics. Again, you know, there's many guys and gals out there talking about food cost in their how-to videos and really going into detail about menu engineering, all those great, wonderful, and applicable things. For me, it was like, yeah, of course. Okay, yes, we know that all those things have to happen. But beyond that, how do I actually manage my food cost? It's something that takes a level of fanaticism almost. Now, again, I was always on the extreme, so I'm not proposing that my way is better for everybody. I mean, it depends on personality and lots of other things, but I was pretty much a fanatic. I was just starting as a manager years ago here in Houston at one of the largest independent steak restaurants here in Houston. And I'd already been a manager for 6-7 years out in Pennsylvania. So I brought a level of expertise with me. And there was this one line cook. He was an amazing talent. He really, really was. But nobody ever really made him conscious of food costs. You know, he was very proud of how quick he can get. I mean, when it comes to like a Friday night, and that place sat close to 300, everything, of course, was a la carte. So I probably had 20, 25 servers on at one time. Friday, Saturday night, we would run 3 table stations. That in itself sounds crazy. Maybe someday we'll do a video on that, because I'm going to tell you, the staff didn't think they were going to make money. Everybody thought I was nuts. But I'm going to tell you, the amount that we rung in the registers was epic. So, but anyway, that's another whole topic. But this one particular line cook, who was the head cook, and he wasn't afraid to tell everybody what to do, as he should. He was like borderline kitchen manager in the very beginning. And I would walk by the edge of the cook station, and there was a trash can right there. And as I walked by, I would just glance down and look in and keep walking. I'm not saying I would go, you know, elbows in or anything like that, but I would just keep walking. And as most of you managers know, you're on stage. Everybody watches every move you make, every count, every word and all that. That's just part of it. It's kind of like being a teacher. And when you were a kid, you know, you look up and you're hanging on their every word because they were like the big El Jefe. So it's not unusual for them to really, really watch what you do and what you say. There's two ways to go with that. You can enhance your ego, which, I mean, anybody that's human likes the attention, or I should say, you can use that situation to your benefit. I decided that I would resist the first as much as I could, still human, but I would utilize that situation also to make them aware that there is a food cost. We're here for a reason. There ain't no Red Cross painted on the side of the building. This is a profit deal, okay? And I wasn't ashamed to make sure I reminded everybody of that. So walking through the kitchen and just glancing down, it took him probably a week before he stopped me and said, "Can I ask you something?" I said, "Sure." He goes, "What the hell are you looking at?" I said, "Well, I can't help it. I look down and I kind of want to see what you're throwing away." He goes, "Well, am I doing right?" I said, "Based on what I can see." I tell you the truth, looking at the French fry station, those French fries been sitting there quite a while. And truthfully, I hate to be the guy who orders a chicken fried steak next and is going to get those soggy French fries. So where are they going to go? And he just looked at me. I said, "Listen, you're great. You're really one of the best we got. All I'm asking you is maybe just take a look around at anything you can do to help me save an ounce is honestly worthwhile." You have no idea that became that week's mission for all the cook staff. They were like really wanting to see what they did, and not to just please me. Everybody likes to know that they're doing good. And as a manager, it's up to you not to just tell them when they're not, but to compliment them when they are. I know it sounds corny to say I'm going to be a team leader. Well, you know what? You are. All right, so we've decided that we have the right product for the right situation. We've now educated at least the back of the house staff about food cost. So what are we going to do for the front of the house? Well, first we owe it to everybody to do all the things that all the other videos tell you to do. And that is menu engineering, and that is to also check the product pricing against food cost projections, when you break down the recipes. Most point of sale systems and many wholesale distributors now have software that interface with your order guide. So when you enter invoices, you don't need to update pricing if you're using the software from the distributor you're buying from. Okay, so what does that do? It gives you an immediate snapshot of your updated food cost projection on one of your menu items. When was the last time you looked at that? Maybe when you first did the menu? Okay, I used to make it my mission that I would look at it once a month. Now, when you have a program purchasing thing, and that's something we'll talk about some other day, but what happens is they commit to where maybe your commodities will update weekly and your canned goods would update monthly. So that's why I would wait and into the calendar month of the next month to take a look and see where everything is, because I know then it's a snapshot in time of all the updated pricing coming in the back door. Okay, so let's assume we got that. We've already talked to the folks in the back of the house and got them really thinking about, and again, it wasn't just that, truthfully. I mean, we had a nice conversation, not a meeting, okay, to grab a cup of coffee and stand around the kitchen rather than in a formal setting. And I'd be talking to one of the cooks, another one would walk up and, "Hey, what are you guys talking about?" That kind of thing. I call that downtime, and we're going to talk about that some other day as well. You have no idea how much you can get accomplished in downtime, and to where the point is meetings will end up being redundant. They will just be rehashing everything you talked about during downtime. But okay, so we got back of the house controls going. We have product coming in at the right price. Now we're auditing ourselves to make sure that our menu prices really help everybody hit the targets that I've been telling them I want to hit. Okay, I'm not shy. I tell them, right now we're running a 36.2% food cost. I honestly think we could get it to 35. I really, really do. Okay, now I can't say that unless I just came out and did a food cost breakdown and a true menu engineering snapshot with all the prices updated. So anyway, so let's assume everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. There's two aspects of food costs that not everybody talks about. One of which is employee meals. Okay, what is your employee meal policy? Okay, you don't just walk by and grab some French fries as you're walking by. You don't do that. It's not just a food cost issue. It's disgusting. Now, I would rather have a generous employee meal policy, whatever that is. It's not for me to tell you what it is. That's something that you have to decide, okay? Because that isn't going to be the thing that slows turnover. Your downtime will. That's a whole nother topic as well. But okay, the point is, you got to plan that you're going to spend maybe a month of planting this seed to different staff, people that only work Friday, Saturday nights, and to make sure you got everybody. And they're going to roll their eyes and go, oh, geez, did Dennis talk to you about not grabbing a piece of pie? Did he ever? Jesus, it's like he's a Nazi and blah, blah, all that. That's okay, okay? My friends are at home. I'm lucky. I'm married 34 years. I'm shooting for 35. I don't need friends. You know what I need to do? I need to make people professional, and I need to earn money. That's the only reason why this exists. Okay, here comes now you've got your employee meals and you're addressing that. Lastly is the cash register. Okay, now notice how old I am. I said cash register. Everybody's probably laughing. Point of sale is really changed the industry. I love watching it. Believe it or not, I was lucky enough to meet the two guys that developed the original Aloha system. I don't know if you know where that came from, but these two guys were fighter pilots, okay, in the Air Force, and they were good friends off duty. And they would go to these restaurants in Dallas, right between Dallas and Arlington, to be honest with you. And they were watching somebody with a, oh God, I forget the name of them now. The NCR, I think it was. And he's looking at it, and he looks at his buddy, he goes, check that out. And they start looking at the kid, and she's going all over and screen to screen and whatever. And they decided that they could develop something closer to the interface that they faced in their jets, where everything was where it needed to be. And it was so much easier, and it was intuitive. That was the beginning of Aloha. Look what that has done to the restaurant industry and the development of now all kinds of point of sale systems that try to live up to them. But okay, now we're going to talk about the sales side. Because don't forget, everybody keeps talking about food costs and food costs as a result of cost of goods sold. Well, yeah, of course that's the case. But your food cost is usually measured in percentage. And the formula is what? Cost of goods sold, okay, divided by food sales. Okay, so what happened to it? A lot of folks are missing that end of things. That's where bringing up employee meals is a big deal. And here comes a big one, coffee. Okay, coffee seems like because of Starbucks, it's more of a morning thing than it is where it used to be. Now I think, maybe I'm wrong, but when I ask for a cup of coffee, I can't tell you, like if it's a middle market, if it's a higher end place, yeah, they always have coffee. But when it comes to like a Chili's or a steakhouse that I go to here, Lone Star Steakhouse, they usually go, you know what? I just need to brew you a fresh pot. First, I really appreciate it. I would wait in order to get a fresh cup of coffee. I genuinely would. Okay. But I can't tell you how many times they don't ring it up. I don't know why. I don't know whether they're apologizing for it to be late or whatever. But if they're going to spend 50 cents, and that's about 50 to 60 cents what a pot of coffee should cost, at least get your money back. I'm the bozo who wanted a cup of coffee when I'm probably the only one in the dining room asking for coffee. So I would really talk it up to the servers and see and make sure they understand that ringing up coffees and ringing up desserts. Now, again, if it's a dessert that's coming out of the kitchen, it's covered. But if it's a dessert coming out of the side station or a side salad and all of those things that are maybe add-ons that are not part of the meal or whatever, to me, and I'll end it with this, food cost is as much attitude as it is math. Well, thank you for watching our video. We asked that if you felt we deserved it, maybe you could click on that like button, it would be helpful, and also subscribe if you feel it again that we're worth it. Appreciate your time. We honestly look forward to you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.